Hey there! Welcome back to Cities in a Blink, where we uncover the stories behind the world's cities, one blink at a time. This is How Did That City Become the Capital? Our journey through the political hearts of nations. Today, we are asking a strange question. How did a city with no ancient prestige, no great river, no famous port, become the capital of one of the largest empires the world had ever seen? This is the story of Madrid. And unlike many capitals, Madrid wasn't inherited. It was designed. If you've ever been to Madrid today, it doesn't feel like a city that had to prove itself. It feels inevitable. Wide boulevards, grand plazas, museums that could swallow an afternoon. A city that moves late into the night, where dinner starts when other cities are already asleep. Madrid feels like the center because it has spent centuries acting like the center. But here's the twist. Madrid didn't start that way. For a long time, it was not the obvious choice. It wasn't Spain's proud ancient city. It wasn't the empire's money port. It wasn't the loudest, richest, or most historic name on the map. So how did this place become the control room of a global empire? Picture Spain in the 1500s. Not just Spain the country. Spain the superpower. Ships crossing oceans. Silver arriving from the Americas. Messages traveling for weeks. A map so big the edges feel unreal. Now picture the man in the middle of it. King Philip II. He's not choosing a palace. He's choosing a control room. And around him, everyone has an opinion. Advisors, nobles, clergy, merchants, each of them quietly hoping the capital lands in their city. Because wherever the king goes, money follows, jobs follow, prestige follows, and power sticks to that place like glue. So imagine Philip running the thought experiment. Toledo, ancient, proud, religious authority, but also full of institutions that don't like being told what to do. Seville, a city that smells like trade and empire. Ports, warehouses, money, and a merchant class strong enough to say Your Majesty while steering the wheel. Barcelona, busy, wealthy, confident. A city with a strong identity that doesn't love being controlled from above. Valladolid, courtly, political, close to the action, also close to the kind of people who think they should be running things. These cities aren't just cities, they're power centers, and power centers always come with friction. So Philip looks again, and then he looks at Madrid. Madrid is not flashy, no legendary ancient prestige, no giant river carrying trade, no famous port, just a modest inland town sitting on Spain's high plateau. And that's exactly why it works. At first, Madrid feels like the wrong answer, but by the end of this story, it'll feel like the only answer. In 1561, Philip II names Madrid the capital, and it's less like choosing a winner and more like choosing a blank canvas. First, Madrid is inland. In the 1500s, coastal cities are magnets. Magnets for wealth, yes, but also magnets for enemies. If your capital sits by the sea, it's always within reach of sudden threats. A fleet appears, a raid happens, panic spreads. You don't just defend your coastline, you defend your government. Madrid is different. To reach it, you have to cross the country. It's slower, harder. You can't just show up and scare the crown. Second, Madrid is central. And centrality sounds boring until you watch what it does over time. A capital is not just where the king sleeps. It's where paperwork goes, where decisions get signed, where favors get granted. So once the court settles in Madrid, roads begin to behave differently. They start pointing toward the capital. Officials travel toward the capital. Requests flow toward the capital. The country begins to bend toward the center. But here's the real reason Philip chose Madrid. The reason that doesn't show up on a map. Madrid had no strong local power base, no entrenched aristocracy to negotiate with, no merchant giants with leverage, no ancient institutions that could challenge the crown's authority. Madrid was politically quiet. And for a ruler, quiet is priceless. Because ruling from a powerful city means sharing oxygen with powerful locals. Ruling from a neutral city means the crown becomes the only sun in the sky. Philip didn't go to Madrid because it was powerful. He went because it wasn't. And once he arrived, Madrid transformed. The court followed first. Then came the bureaucracy, the scribes, the accountants, the administrators. Then came the foreign envoys, because diplomacy goes where decisions are made. Then came the nobles, because nobles are allergic to being far from influence. And suddenly, the city that had been ordinary becomes crowded with ambition. Palaces rise. Administrative buildings spread. A city that once had little to offer now offers the one thing everyone wants: access. Madrid doesn't grow like a port city. It doesn't grow because ships arrive loaded with goods. It grows because people arrive loaded with requests. It becomes a capital defined not by trade, but by governance. Now watch what happens next, because this is where capitals become sticky. Spain's fortunes change over the centuries. Power rises, power falls. Wars come. Dynasties change. Empires shrink. But Madrid stays. Because once you build the machinery of government in one place, moving it is like trying to move an entire nervous system. Taxes are collected there. Laws are written there. Armies are commanded there. Archives pile up. Courts become permanent. Careers are built around proximity. So even if someone wanted to move the capital, they run into a wall. Not a wall of stone, a wall of systems. And that is the final twist of Madrid. It didn't become the capital because it was the most important city. It became the capital so it could become the most important place. So, why Madrid? Because Madrid solved the empire's control problem better than any other city. It offered centrality without rivalry, security without dependence on trade routes, unity without favoring one region over another. Madrid didn't inherit the past. It was built to control the present. If you love discovering cities and the stories behind them, hit that subscribe button and join us for more adventures. Thanks for watching Cities in a Blink, where stories of cities come alive, one blink at a time.